Right on. Hi, I'm Bobby from Collectormania. I'm an employee here for about a year now, but I've been coming here for like 12 years since I was a little kid, and I just am excited to be part of the show, and thanks for having me. So we're doing this Morph into Commander thing, and I have Chandra, Torch of Defiance, as my commander, and we're going with like a kind of crippling theme. Like she's angry at Nicol Bolas. Like something wrong has happened to her, and he betrayed her or like killed her love. Who knows what happened? But she wants to hurt him, and even if it hurts herself, that's what she's gonna do. I kind of brought something a little bit brutal. That's what people have been saying, but you know, I just build decks. That's how I do it. Maybe I'm just a little bit brutal myself. But it seems like it's going to be fun. So the whole idea about Morph into Commander is that there is these new products that are released, and we play with them out of the box and kind of get a feel for them, and then we change it into what would be a Commander game, and we would upgrade it and put our own flavor into it and kind of keep it in the same idea, but like definitely bring in our own flavor and like beef it up to the next level. But for should I start going with the deck? Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm ready. If they're ready. You ready, guys? Okay. So first, we've got a Chroma Angel of Fury. She is one of my favorite angels. I've liked her for a very long time, since I actually started playing Magic back in Time Spiral and Planar Chaos, so I just had to put her in there. Plus she's got Pro Blue, can't be countered, so there's some good things there, and she fire breathes, so maybe she can get him in the air, because angels can battle dragons, that's for sure. I also have Anger, which is a great card just so that everything in my deck is quick and I can always constantly get in there. I've got Avalanche Riders, which is kind of getting more into the theme in my strategy, is I want to destroy his resources. I don't want him to like be able to play anything. That's why people have been thinking it's kind of brutal, because it's definitely Burny Face and Landy. Then we also have Chandra, Fire of Kaladesh, of course. I mean, you have to go with basically every Chandra out there if you're going to make a Chandra deck. She's a really great one, got some great abilities on the back. We also have Chandra's Phoenix flying out of the gate. Oh, move card, yep. Good? Okay, right on. So, Chandra's Phoenix, definitely an awesome card. Comes back, hits him in the face, flying also, so if there's anything going on in the air, I'm assuming that'll happen, because Nicol Bolas does have wings. We have Combustible Gear Hulk, which I do have some high CMC in my deck, so maybe that'll make him think a little bit, scare him. I've got Detrivore, who also can destroy non-basic lands, and he can be suspended for 4 and an X, and each time a suspend counter is removed, it actually destroys a non-basic, so that's kind of like a little waiting game. Then I got Dual Caster Mage. It's a creature with flash that can copy spells. I've got an interesting one that I like a lot, Dwarven Blast Miner. I guess Seth was telling me, which is another employee here, that Patrick Chapman, back in the day, was destroying people with that card. And I just liked it. I was looking for Landy, and I was like, it's got Morph, so maybe he won't notice that it's an Achroma or a Dwarven Blast Miner, and boom! Then we got Galvanoth, which at the beginning of my upkeep, I may look at the top card of your library. If it's an instant or sorcery, you may cast it without paying its mana cost. So it's a good cheat. You know, I can just be like, oh yeah, I'm going to destroy your land on my upkeep. Inferno Titan, that's one that was actually in the, what is it called? Oh my gosh, Nicol Bolas Archenemy. Spaced. And he's just a really great card. I mean, any of the Giants, or the Titans, as they're called, are really top notch. And then it gets worse, because here's Kiki Jiki, and he's the Goblin Shaman that everybody has nightmares about. So he's got haste. He can put a copy of target creature that's non-legendary onto the battlefield, and it gains haste, and you have to sacrifice it at the end of turn. Then we got another Gobbo, and that's going to be Krenko Mob Boss. and he basically can tap and double your goblins, the amount of goblins you have, which would be really good if I had anger in the graveyard and then they just come in and come out swinging. So then I've got Magnivore, who he's got haste initially, but his power and toughness are equal to the sorceries I have in all graveyards. Well, all graveyards, I don't own them all. But, so, like, hopefully I get him a little bit later in the game. And then we've got Mog Fanatic, and he's just a good one-drop. I mean, something that I can hopefully get in early and just start hurting him, getting him in the kidneys, and then later on when he gets blocked, I just shoot him for the last one. We got Chandra's parents, of course. I mean, it's a nice touch. It's just, you gotta bring the whole family together. And plus, they make thopters and other cool stuff that I can shoot them with and fly over, kind of the same thing as Mog Fanatic with them. Then we've got just Pia, because, you know, Kieran, he kind of passed away, and it's real sad, but she's still here, and she's going to be the greatest mother she can be, even though she's a single mother now. Perforos, of course, you got to have a god in there, somebody who's a great deity. Perforos is a legendary enchantment creature. He's got indestructible, and he's got, whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, I can deal 2 damage to each opponent. So hopefully with some later on cards later on, you can see like where that's going to come into play. Well, maybe this one. That's kind of good. Skyline Depot. So he's a dragon, and is that right? Is that the right word? Depot? Despot. There we go. So when Skyline Despot enters the battlefield, I become the Monarch, so I get a crown. And at the beginning of my upkeep, if you're a Monarch, you put a 5/5 red dragon creature into the battlefield with flying. And so if I've got Perforos out, every upkeep I get to shoot him for 7 and get a dragon that has flying, and it's a 5/5, so hit him with his own medicine. Then we got Zealous Conscripts, which is an infinite combo with Kiki Jiki that we saw earlier. You could basically infinitely copy Zealous Conscripts with Kiki Jiki, because when Zealous Conscripts enters the battlefield, you gain control of target permanent and you untap it. So that means you just continuously regain control of your own Kiki Jiki, so you can continuously copy Zealous. Chaos Warp, good card, just destroys stuff, and basically a small warp world on something that I don't like. Faded Conflagration, yeah, that's what I think Seth said earlier. I was like, what's this word? So it deals 5 damage to target creature or planeswalker. If it's my turn, I scry 2. Most likely it's going to go to Bolas's face. Flame Javelin, another burn spell that deals 4 damage. Then we got an interesting one, Molten Influence, which counters an instant or sorcery, and its controller can counter Molten Influence if they choose to take 4 damage. So hopefully it'll be later on in the game, and like he's gonna question whether or not he wants to take that 4 damage. Then we just got straight up Pyroblast, which counters a spell or destroys a blue permanent. Then we got Red Elemental Blast, which is pretty much the same thing, very similar cards. Then we got Words of Seizing, so I can take control of his Nicol Bolas and be like, I get to play with him now. Basically, you know, Betrayal, that's what Nicol Bolas is good at. Then we got Banefire, a good spell that is just straight burn to the face, and then it can't be countered if it's 5 or more. Bonfire of the Damned, another burn spell with Miracle. And we got Boom and Bust, which I'm probably going to use Boom. Bust is probably going to be bad for all of us. Boom just destroys target land, and I sack a land. Then we got Browbeat, just because I need that extra card draw. And then here's mother and daughter reuniting after the father's passing. Of course, more card draw. I need as much gas as I can get. Then I've got Demolish, which starts getting into some more of the land eat that I have in here. Devil's Play, which is another burn spell, but it has flashback, so I can play it from the graveyard again for that extra oomph. Then we got Dragon Fodder, which puts 2 Gobos onto the battlefield, and if Perforos is out, I mean, it deals some good damage. We got Earth Rift, which is a land eat spell that has flashback, so that's fun. Gotta be watching my graveyard. Then I've got Hordling Outbursts, a lot similar to, what was it, Goblin? Nope, Dragon Fodder. I was going to say Goblin Assault, but we were out of that one, so I couldn't put that one in here. So that puts 3 Gobbo creatures onto the battlefield. Then we got Incendiary Command. I like options. So this one says choose 2. If you've never heard of the command before, it's one of the choose 2 effects. It says I can deal 4 damage to target player, or I can have deal 2 damage to each creature. I can destroy target non-basic land. Probably going to use that one. And then each player discards all cards in his or her hand, and then draws that many cards. So definitely some good options. Then we've got Into the Maw of Hell, which is another land eat spell, but it also can deal 13 damage to a target creature. Then we got Mana Clash, just a really fun spell. I mean, if you get it early game, you can get some early damage on Nicol Bolas, and it's just goofy, you know, flipping a coin, and hopefully it'll be fun. Molten Terrain, another land eat spell. Then we've got Mizzix's Mastery, which is a really good spell in my deck because what it reads is exile target card that's an instant or sorcery from your graveyard. For each card exiled this way, copy it, and you may cast the copy without paying its mana costs. And then exile Mizzix's Mastery. But if it's late game and I've got a lot of spells in my graveyard, I can overload it and basically like burn him in the face for a lot or destroy a lot of his lands. Rain of Salt, which is just a great name for a card, and it destroys 2 target lands. Then we got Raise, which is another land eat spell, good for early game. Then we got Seismic Spike, good mana ramp if I can get maybe 2 spells off with that one because it destroys target lands as well. It would be good to run into Stone Rain. We got Tempt with Vengeance, which is one of those tempting offer cards where I pay X and then I get X 1/1 elementals. Then if Nicol Bolas wants that amount of elementals, I get that many twice. Then we got Wheel of Fortune, just a good card draw, and maybe if my allies are kind of in trouble, we're like, hey, we'll all discard and get some new cards. Then we got Splinter Twin, kind of another effect or similar ability as Kiki-Jiki. Then we got Stranglehold, which won't allow Nicol Bolas to search his library, and it also makes it so he can't take extra turns, which he has blue, so I hope that it comes into play. Moving on to Planeswalkers, of course we're going to hit a lot of Chandras. Chandra Flamecaller, she's just great, new addition. We've got Chandra Pyromaster. I just really like her ulti, and I can definitely, like, if I get one of those land eat spells or like Flame Javelin, that's a good 12 damage to the face. Chandra Firebrand, just, you know, I like the art, she's cool. Then we got Chandra Ablaze, of course, going back in time. Definitely her ulti is one of the best things in my deck. If I can get that and Mizzix's Mastery late game, it's something that it will be crushing. Then we got Chandra Nalaar, OG, one of the greatest, you know. It's a Chandra deck. Then we'll mix it up a little bit, though. We got Koth, the Soviet Love Hammer, and basically he's good for mana ramp, he's good for hurting people. I mean, just look at him, he's mean. We'll move on to artifacts. We got Ashnod's Altar, so you can basically get some mana ramp if you sack a creature. Fire Diamond comes into play tapped, gives me a red. Gauntlet of Power, I mean, I wonder what color I'll choose. Creatures of the chosen color get +1/+1. Whenever a basic land is tapped of that color, it doubles that. Or it adds 1. Yep, it adds 1. Doesn't double it. Excuse me. Then we got Mana Vault, some more ramp, you know, for that early game, and then Soul Ring, which is also really good. Then we got Vidalcan Orrery, which is really important in my deck because I've got a lot of sorceries in here. So the faster, or like if I can destroy a land when he plays it, that's what I want. I want to just like make him eat dirt, you know, his own dirt, and put it in his face, kick it in his face. Then we got Homeward Path because he's Nicol Bolas. He's gonna steal things. I can't be having that. We got the Strip Mine, of course. You know, for that early, I could just like bam right in the kneecap. Temple of the False God. Just it's good. It's good. And then Valakut, which is probably one of the best like red lands there is. What Valakut does is whenever a mountain enters under your control, if you control at least 5 other mountains, you may have Valakut deal 3 damage to target creature or player. So every time I play a land, it's like lightning bolt to the face. Chow! That's how Chandra does it. And then we got 33 mountains. So, thank you. I'm Bobby from Collectormania. I hope you enjoyed the video, and see you later.